Hey, you beautiful people. You're getting the real me again. Um, Not that I'm not real on my podcast, but I do brush my hair on my podcast. This is my hair not brushed. So I can't say that I do myself up because I don't put any makeup on or glamour myself up, but I do put on something nice that's not a t-shirt. And I do brush my hair. So that is me dolling myself up. I wanted to, I might actually bring my microphone a bit closer. Let's see if it works better with my microphone closer. There we go. I did a recording the other day with my microphone and I sounded like I was in a tunnel. I wanted to do a video just on, I call it frazzled bedazzled. I am so frazzled bedazzled on the inside, meaning I really want to take action, I really want to create something for myself. I really want to create something online. And yet there is these parts inside of me that have absolutely no desire. And apparently they run the show. They do not want me creating content. They do not want me putting myself out there. They do not want me making money. They do not want me doing amazing things for myself, for other people. They do not want me contributing to society. They do not want me, I don't know what to say. They don't seem to want me to, I think, participate. That's what I'm hearing. These parts inside of me do not want me to participate in the world. But without participation, what are you doing? There's a cat that just did something. I heard it, but I can't see it. I heard it and I saw this in the background, but I don't know where he's gone. I think he's jumped down the back of the cabinet. Yeah, they just, and I can go down the path of why they don't want me to participate. The low self-worth, the punishing that I get from people when I put myself out there. The been a very meowy kitty cat today. Yeah, come here, come say hello. Come here, come here, come say hello. You know. There's actually a snake in the roof of our shade house outside. And I think he's very vocal about the fact that he knows there's a snake up there and he cannot get to it. It's a little bit too high for him. I'm sure he'd give it a crack, but it's also a big snake. It's not a little snake. It's probably bigger. No, it's bigger than he is lengthwise. We quite happily have him for breakfast. I will come back to these parts. So many distractions. I tell you what, this is part of the problem, right? These parts inside of me that just go bing, 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 distract, flashy light, flashy light, flashy light, flashy light, flashy light. And then that part of me that thrives on that, that thrives on the fear, that's so used to the fear is the hit. So that's what I survive on. That's what I thrive on. That's what really works. And so it makes sense for me to stay in this space where I keep getting these fear hits because that's the pattern. That's the habit. It's it's the process that keeps you in this fear space. And right now I'm kind of on this precipice between the feeling good and the feeling fear. So I jump between the two. And when I jump over to here into the fear, it's actually relatively easy for me to jump over here into the feeling good. Like my transition time is shorter than what it used to be. There were times where I would used to sit in this fear feeling all day, every day, and it dictated every ounce of my being. It's not as, oh, excuse me. I apologize for my yawning. I sometimes yawn when I process, and I yawn if I'm tired. So this fear, every decision that I used to make came from this fear space, and every action that I used to take came from this fear space, and it had me in bed most of the time, most of the days, just watching stuff, watching videos, watching YouTube, watching movies on YouTube, or watching movies on Netflix, because it was really frozen in that. I was really, well, not I, there was a part of me that was really frozen in this fear state, and I was paralyzed by the fear. I was so paralyzed by the fear. And I was, when you have the paralyzed by the fear, but also the hiding, that deep need to hide, need to run away, need to isolate. When you have those two things together, then you will sit in bed and watch stuff. But then there's this validator that comes through and says, well, I'm doing this because I'm tired. Well, why are you tired? Well, maybe my iron is low, or I've got chronic fatigue syndrome, or I'm a single mum to a kid, and I've got all these dogs and cats and chickens and all this land that I have to take care of. So I'm overwhelmed. There are always these stories that validate the actions that we take. And that was me always validating the actions that I take. And I will put in a caveat right over here. If you haven't watched any of my other videos and you do not know, we live on land. We live on a big block of land, and we have roosters and guinea fowl, and they frequently have like this background noise in my videos of if you can hear that, that is the guinea fowl, and then we've got the rooster growing as well. So coming back into this validation, so then there are these parts that validate the fear, and then they validate the hiding, and then that leaves you in bed. And that's where I was stuck in bed, and it was so validated because of how tired I was all the time. And now as I'm out of that hiding, obviously, because I'm doing videos, I'm out of that hiding space. I'm still in an element of hiding. So it's not as if I'm doing videos every day. And it's not as if I'm sharing everything that I'm hearing to share on video, but I am out of that hiding space from where I was. And I'm out of the fear space from where I was, because I am no longer sitting and watching stuff all day, every day. I am no longer sitting and not taking any action at all. There are elements of me that are moving forward. So these parts have evolved, they have changed, they have shifted, they have loosened their grip on me. And I'm here now, I guess, in this space where I can really, 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 really feel something just jumped on something. There's probably a rooster. Where I can really feel the hold that these parts have on me. I can feel the disconnect between that truest, lightest, brightest part of me and what I'm holding onto. I can feel that disconnect. I can feel that, like, that space, that chasm in between. I can really feel it, and I can feel much parts of me are still holding to this hiding, holding on to the fear, holding on to the part that doesn't want to be seen. And then I don't take action. And that when I sit down to take action, all of these parts start coming up, and they start saying, and no one wants to see you, no one wants to hear you. And I've gone through this over a couple of videos, and it takes more than a minute, and it takes more than just sitting down once and acknowledging them. It takes this constant process of looking at these parts and going, well, they're here. They're here. What do I do with them? Yeah, it takes time to unravel these parts inside of us. And it is this part inside of me that is still a little bit scared of being seen. And that goes back to my childhood of anytime I did something where I was seen, the truest, kindest, brightest part of me was seen, I'd always get punished for it. And there's a whole background story to that I won't get into in this video. But there were things that consistently happened that kept saying, do not be the brightest, happiest person you can be, because you'll get punished for that. Go back into being this dark, grey, hollow, empty shell of a human being, because then you're accepted, then you're approved of, then you are validated, then you get the energy that you're seeking. And in my world, the energy, it didn't come in love heart and bubbles and fairy floss and daisies and unicorns and rainbows. It came from anger. So I did not receive love in a warm, cuddly, nurturing way. I don't have any memory of my mum cuddling me or hugging me or telling me that she loved me. But I have lots of memories of her and I fighting and yelling and screaming at each other and getting hit by my dad. They're the memories that I have mostly from my childhood. And so when that's the energy that you're getting, then you start to create this link between, it's almost as if you create this link that says, well, my parents love me, and this is how I feel when I get energy from them. So this must be love. This must be love. This pain that I'm feeling must be what love is, because there's nothing else. Everyone talks about love in movies and TV shows and happy families, and when you're a kid, you don't have this ability to filter this information out. You're not sitting there going, oh, my mum's yelling at me, therefore she in this moment right now, she's not really showing me love. You don't do that when you're 5 and 6 and 7, or even 10, 11 and 12, or even 16. You're not creating those filters if you have not been taught that there are different, like, this does not mean love, this means love. This does not mean I don't love you. This just means I'm mad in this moment, but this is not what love looks like. Unless you're taught that, you don't know that. And I was not taught that, and I did not know that. And there's such a, trying to look at it, there's just this deep part that is still missing, that knowing what love is, what is love. I think the thing I really get is when you are not raised with love, you are not surrounded by love. Love is not your normal space. It's not your normal vibration. It's not your normal fallback feeling. Until it is, until that habit is deeply embedded in your being, until that habit is really there, it's actually really hard. It's really hard to sit in a space of love and kindness and warmth and compassion and nurturing when it's not your norm. But for the most part, those of us that were not raised with that, that's the thing we need to learn the most, isn't it? We need to learn that love. We need to learn that kindness, because otherwise all we experience is hardness, hardship, pain, hurt. And we keep attracting that to us, whether that's from the external world or whether that's just simply where we are in the internal world. And it's a challenge. So I'm here at this crossroad, really seeing that I have a choice to make. I either make the decision to move down the path of figuring out how the fuck do I feel love, or I stay in the hardship, I stay in the hurt, I stay in the anguish, I stay in the pain. And even though there are definitely moments where I feel good, I feel so much better, I am well and truly out of the trauma that I was in at the start of this year. I'm well and truly out of that pain, of that hurt. I'm so far out of that hardness and the mud that I was in, that I'm now sitting here going, I'm at a crossroads of, do I want to learn how to feel love? That wasn't there back then. I was just in the space of, how the hell do I feel better about myself? How do I feel good? How do I feel better about who I am? How do I feel? How do I feel better than I do right now? Like, how do I just feel just that little bit better? That's what I was seeking back then. I was seeking, how do I just feel a little bit better than what I do right now? But now I'm sitting here going, how do I feel love? How do I feel that? How do I feel that energy? How do I feel that flow? How do I feel that connection? How do I feel that openness? How do I, who's generally closed, open? How do I do that? So I guess that's kind of where I am. That's where I am right now. How do I open? I don't know, but something's going to happen. Someone, somehow, some way, some process. That's you. Comment, reach out. If you're listening to this going, oh my God, I know how she can open, send me a message and say hi. Yeah, I'm so much better than where I was. And I know I want to be further along now. I think I'm ready to finish off 2023 striving for connection and love and passion and commitment, and that connection to that divine self, that divine love, that truest part of who all of us are at the core. I think that's what my focus is going to be for the next month, is not being online as much as I have been, and focusing on spending more time feeling and feeling and feeling and feeling and connecting and feeling and feeling, because I get being on Facebook does not make me connect with anything, and being on YouTube does not make me connect with anything, and being on my computer is not a space of connection. That's really, in some ways, it's a space of disconnection. It's connection if it's done in an aligned way, but if it's done in a misaligned way, then it's disconnection. Yeah. I'm going to figure out how to connect. Thank you. I will be back. I will share my journey. I will keep prattling on about what I'm going through, and hopefully it either helps you to move forward from where you are, or it helps you to remember where you came from. If you can watch this video and sit back and go, oh my God, that's where I was. I'm in such a better space now, and you can have a happy dance because that's amazing, then I would be so glad if you could use my videos to see how far you are. And if you are where I am, then welcome to this journey and this path with me. God, the chickens are going off their crackers. Sounds like she laid in there. Yeah, welcome. And if you're down the path and you're still in your form or wondering how the heck did I get here, then reach out. I'm here. I'm more than happy to help you go from where you are to this point in time, because where I was back there in the mud and in hell and in despair and grief and shit, it was my own special little hell cycle, and I wouldn't wish it upon anyone, not even my worst enemy. It was horrible, but I'm glad to be here. And I'm thankful to be here. And I'm thankful to you if you have watched this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's it. I'm going to go see if our chicken laid an egg. See you later.